In the scorching desert of Sinai, amidst the vast expanse of sand and the relentless sun, a nation of former slaves stood on the cusp of a new beginning. This was no ordinary gathering. It was the Israelites, a people who had just been delivered from the oppressive yoke of Pharaoh, now facing the monumental task of organizing themselves into a cohesive and functional society. The wilderness, with its harsh conditions and constant threats, demanded that they not only survive but also thrive. The key to their survival and future success lay in the organization and structure that God, through Moses and Aaron, imparted to them. This video explores the intricate and strategic arrangement of the Israelite camps, the roles assigned to each tribe, and the significance of the Levites in this divine plan. The organization of the Israelites was not merely a logistical necessity, but a spiritual imperative. God instructed Moses and Aaron to arrange the tribes around the tent of meeting, the sacred center where God's presence was manifest. This arrangement was not random. It was a carefully crafted plan that reflected the divine order and provided a sense of unity and purpose to the people. The tribes were to camp in specific positions, each with its own banner and standards, forming a protective square around the tent of meeting. This formation was both symbolic and practical, symbolizing the protection of God's presence and ensuring a defensive posture against potential threats. The tribe of Judah, with its chieftain Nahshon, was positioned to the east, and it was the first to march. This placement was significant, as the east was the direction of the rising sun, symbolizing hope and new beginnings. Judah, being the largest and most prominent tribe, was entrusted with leading the way, setting a standard of courage and faith for the rest of the people. The tribes of Issachar and Zebulun, also part of the eastern camp, added strength and numbers to this vanguard, totaling 186,400 men. To the south, the tribe of Reuben, led by Eliezer, was tasked with the second position in the march. Reuben, along with the tribes of Simon and Gad, formed the southern camp, numbering 150,450 men. This position was crucial for maintaining the formation and providing additional protection from the south. The tribe of Reuben, despite its historical struggles and internal conflicts, was given a prominent role in this new order, demonstrating God's grace and the opportunity for redemption. On the western side, the tribe of Ephraim, led by Elishama, was positioned to march third, along with the tribes of Manasseh and Benjamin. The western camp totaled 108,100 men. Ephraim, being a direct descendant of Joseph, carried the legacy of the patriarch who had saved Egypt from famine and represented the promise of prosperity and abundance. The western camp's role was to maintain the stability and continuity of the march, ensuring that the formation remained intact. To the north, the tribe of Dan, led by Ahiezer, was assigned the rear guard position. Dan, along with the tribes of Asher and Naphtali, formed the northern camp, numbering 157,600 men. The northern camp's role was to protect the rear and ensure that the formation did not break apart. Dan, known for its strategic and military prowess, was well suited for this task, providing a strong and reliable defense against any threats from the north. At the center of this formation was the tent of meeting, the sacred space where the presence of God was manifest. This central position was occupied by the Levites, a tribe set apart for a unique and essential role. The Levites were not counted in the general census of the Israelites, as their role was distinct from the military and tribal functions of the other tribes. The Levites' primary responsibility was to serve and guard the tent of meeting, ensuring that the sacred rituals and practices were maintained with the utmost reverence and care. They were the keepers of the sanctuary, the protectors of the divine presence, and the mediators between God and the people. The Levites were further divided into 3 clans: Gershon, Kohath, and Merari, each with specific responsibilities. The Gershonites were responsible for the care of the tabernacle and its coverings, the hangings of the court, and the curtains. The Kohathites were assigned the care of the most sacred items, including the ark, the table, the lampstand, and the altars. The Merarites were responsible for the structural components of the tabernacle, such as the boards, bars, posts, and sockets. Each clan had a chieftain who oversaw their specific duties, ensuring that the work was done with precision and devotion. The organization of the Israelites in the wilderness was a testament to God's wisdom and foresight. It provided a structure that not only ensured the physical survival of the people, but also fostered a sense of unity and purpose. The arrangement of the camps, the roles assigned to each tribe, and the special status of the Levites all contributed to the creation of a society that was both orderly and spiritually focused. This divine plan was not just about survival. It was about preparing the Israelites for their future as a nation, a people chosen by God to fulfill a unique mission in the world. In conclusion, the organization of the Israelites in the wilderness was a divine blueprint that transformed a group of former slaves into a cohesive and purposeful nation. The strategic placement of the tribes, the leadership roles assigned, and the special status of the Levites all played a crucial role in this transformation. This plan not only ensured the survival of the Israelites, but also laid the foundation for their future as a nation chosen by God.